So real quick before we get into the video, I'm going to be using some AI enhanced speech today. Now, I love speaking to you authentically, I prefer it in fact, but here in Colorado we just got our snow again, so it's really cold. And that basically means that my heater just keeps coming on randomly. And I think that this is just a tad bit too authentic. But yeah, let's break it down. Moving into 2025, the hot Tuah girl has come back into the spotlight. Like all figures on the internet, she's come back to smooth things over. For those who don't know, she's made a sex joke and turned it into a meme coin, or Bitcoin if you prefer. Like Jack Doherty's McLaren coin or Logan Paul's Crypto Zoo or whatever. Now, I imagine we're all familiar with Bitcoin, at least to an extent. But if you want a brief synopsis, it's essentially online investing. Now, I don't fuck with it personally. If you know what you're doing, then you can make money, sure. But generally speaking, I just think there's a lot of scammers and shit on there. Now, Huck Tuah, or Haley Welch, if you prefer, is a southern woman who got famous overnight pretty much. People were looking for this woman with great desperation, like Osama bin Laden had less people hunting him down. That was on account of having basically no social media prior, which makes sense as she is southern. I'm sure they have their Xboxes and stuff at this point in time, but it's not exactly the pinnacle of AI culture. It's just a very rural type of America. And everyone loved her, saying things like, she's a national treasure. This glaze didn't really hold up, though, as she started a podcast with Jake Paul called Tuah. The podcast was pretty much a plug-in for Jake Paul to promote gambling through his website. Now, Haley got greedy. She'd taken many jobs for online money, which led up to her promoting cryptocurrency. She herself got into a crypto and ultimately reached the pinnacle of fame through her meme coin. And this was pretty much a scam. Like, one guy even invested $1 million into it. It was pretty crazy. Why this simp had $1 million and why he thought it was a good idea to invest that, I don't really know. We see this all the time though. Like that one guy who spent like over $60 million on a fucking e-girl or some shit. But I mean, hey, guys like these, they just make you feel better about yourself, right? Like you haven't fucked up that hard, have you? Now, like all crypto scams, others were pulling the strings. Huck Tuah girl was basically just a mascot. Tried and true. Well, she's back now with some new podcast clips to help smooth things over after scamming God only knows how many simps and simpletons.
Hello guys, I'm back with another episode of Talk To, and I'm here with Banks.
There he is.
How's it going?
It's going good. Life's crazy right now. I don't know. I say no to every single fucking podcast. The ongoing joke on Impulsive that I stood them up 4 or 5 times. This isn't necessarily my thing, but you're in an interesting position right now, and I feel like it's my duty to come on here and talk to you. You seem like a sweet enough girl, and I feel like I know more or less what happened with you. We're going to get into all that. I brought a couple crypto nerds with me. We're going to sit down and talk.
Teach me.
Yeah. No, I feel good. How do you feel?
I don't know. I'm still a little shook up about it.
How was the nap?
It was a very long nap. I would say. That's what sucks about it, too. I had to read that off a phone and, like, put it in my words. And I was like, anywho, I'm going to bed.
This is mainly for me, and again, why I wanted to come here and talk about this is because millions of people are going to watch this. Everybody's kind of waiting to hear what you say. Everyone's kind of waiting to see how this plays out. And 99% of these people don't know shit about crypto.
I'm one of them.
Just like you, exactly.
I'm one of them.
Exactly.
So she doesn't know what she's doing, as said of her own admission just now. That's not very reassuring now, is it?
Everything that your life's been the last year and the amount of time that you have been. I've been doing this whole social media content thing at a high level for like 15 years. I'm officially fucking like Unk. And I still don't, have it totally figured out. Someone like you, and my shit was gradual. I like gradually got to where I am today, and you were like fucking parabolic.
I want to start by saying thank you to all my true fans and all the people that actually watch my stuff and they keep up with me. We're trying to sort out all the pieces and stuff to like get all this figured out.
What fans might that be? Like, you don't have any fans. This woman just spent a night out and she got interviewed. She made an innuendo and then she got lucky. Like, what fans? You don't have any fans. It's just a bunch of simps. People that were dumb enough to buy your, meme coin.
And make everything right. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
No, don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Everything's gonna be good. We're gonna be good.
Oh no, she's gonna cry. Boo-hoo. So sad. It's the same song and dance every time. I feel so remorseful for my actions I could just break down into tears. You know what else you could do? Just give back all the money you suckered out of people. But no. Why do that when we can make a podcast defending my innocence?
I feel really bad for all the people that got affected by it, and it just didn't go the way I planned. And all the money out of this episode is getting donated to all the animals that have been affected by the fires up here.
And I'll match it. Me, Ricky, I'll match it, whatever.
That's the mindset of a Southern girl scammer if I ever saw one. And all the money I make will go to the animals. But fuck the people that I scammed. I'm going to be fair here and say that Tuah girl didn't originally have any bad intentions. I don't think she did. It's just the typical case of dumb girl gets popular when she shouldn't have, and all that fame spirals out of control and becomes something unpleasant. In this case, a crypto scam. Now that everything's been said and done, like, she still kept the money. She still ripped all those people off. And rather than give them back their money, she's gonna give it to the animals. That's a noble cause, but it's not your money to give.
It's really, really important for me to make sure that we address everything and get through all of exactly what happened. I think that it's really, really important at this point to be totally transparent about everything that happened with you and your partners and this launch and in crypto, and what makes this bad and what makes what Iggy Azalea is doing maybe even good, and what makes what Trump's doing different, right? I want to get through all that. So I brought two guys that I live with and do this crypto shit at a very high level. I brought Thread Guy, he's the biggest streamer in crypto, and I brought Frank D. Gods, who launched a very successful project last cycle, and he trades at a very high level. He's one of the best trader guys. These guys are really, really sharp, and they know this market inside and out. And most importantly, they have front-facing brands, and their faces are everywhere, and we're all docs, and we all have to move militant, and we're all super, super passionate about conversations like this, because crypto done right is good for everybody. And everything that happened to you is really, really bad for the market. It's really, really bad for us. I hear everything that you're saying, and you're a human being first. And no matter which way this falls, I mean, it might not ever be in a spot where it's totally good. You might have to hear about this for the rest of your life. Probably. But let's just be transparent and make it right.
Okay.
Haley, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Cool. Let's bring in the nerds.
Tissue, go.
Spoiler alert, they aren't going to be transparent about this. Hell, FaZe Kun here was more transparent with Tuah girl than either of them are going to be with us.
And you were asking him questions, and he couldn't answer them. So I was like, okay, something's wrong. He can't answer a simple question. And then CoffeeZilla got on there. Scary guy, let me tell you. Don't ever want to have a conversation with him.
We're a little bit more charitable than Coffee. I think Coffee kind of has a little bit of disdain for crypto in general. Us, on the other hand, we live and breathe it every day. We want to see crypto succeed. We do it every single day. But Coffee definitely, you know what I mean? He's definitely asking the right questions. It's the way that he asks them, maybe, is why you guys can't really find a spot to talk or have any sort of conversation with each other. But we actually did talk to him. We had a conversation with him, and he gave us some broad questions to share and ask you. They're good questions.
Oh, it scares me if they come from him.
No, don't worry about it. Don't be scared.
He's such a scary guy.
Coffee is a little scary, but it's okay.
He means well, though.
This whole thing is a little scary. Yeah.
As for FaZe Kun here, he was exposed for a crypto scam as well back in 2020. You'll remember him saying,
I say no to every single fucking podcast.
I imagine there's a reason for that. Why would a crypto scammer want to come onto a podcast? Better yet, why would you ever invite CoffeeZilla onto your podcast as a crypto scammer? That is the dumbest thing you could ever do. Invite the Sherlock Holmes of crypto scams onto your podcast. That's gonna go over well, isn't it? And they always have the same mentality.
Logan Paul is suing me for CryptoZoo, only a year after he thanked me for it.
So that was another thing. It should come as no surprise, but CoffeeZilla did do an investigation into her. And like with all con artists, he clawed into her pretty good. Like, he's not a scary dude or anything, but old Haley would tell you otherwise, because she does have something to hide. It really is a shame, though. Like, she's an attractive young woman. You can argue about whether or not she's hot or whatever. I mean, I'm not exactly into objectifying women or anything. Hell, southern chicks aren't even my type. But from a conventional lens, I can admit that she's attractive. And it's for that reason, we all know that if she wasn't, then her career never would have taken off. None of the money she made, she did through her own merit. And I mean none of it. And that's a real shame. Like, this is a genuine issue with society. People are not very careful about who they make famous. They put people like Tuah girl in the spotlight. I'm fairly certain that had she not blown up, she would have just lived a normal life. Fame can ruin somebody if it's unearned. And I think that's exactly what happened here. Because, like, even through the podcast, you can tell she's still kind of a normal girl. But she ultimately made the choice to hold on to that money. And she just looks like a complete clown for it now. Yeah, not so much of a national treasure anymore, is she? It's really not an issue I think can ever be fixed. Like, society has double standards and flawed mentalities, and that's just something that'll always persist. We'll continue to evolve as a species, but we'll devolve in other ways. I genuinely believe that. I'll link CoffeeZilla's video on this down in the description, along with a re-upload of the Talk Tuah podcast. Yeah, if you think she's trustworthy, then just remember that she also deleted that podcast in like 40 minutes, but nothing's really gone from the internet when you're as famous as her. So go ahead and check out either or both of them if you want. They're pretty interesting, I suppose. Anyways, that's about it. Talk to you later.